Hello everyone, I'm Teacher Lin. Welcome to my lesson plan presentation. The following 50 minutes, I will present you rationale, teaching procedure, and my student performance. I will wrap up my lesson plan by reflection and some references. Let's look at my lesson plan first. I designed this lesson plan for my 28 students. They are majored in food and beverage. About their language level, 50% of them are equipped with A1 level. 30% of them have difficulty in understanding the context, and the rest of them might be challenged by phonetics and words. So that's why I designed my lesson plan, and I aim at word teaching, sentence pattern, and this time I design a project for them. Let's look at my questions. Factual questions will have them try to find the words and have them classify words. Conceptual question used to guide them find out what are the elements of the bundle. Debated question is a context question. Try to have them to be a Taiwanese local, and they have to introduce Taiwanese food and culture to their foreign friends. Here comes out my rationale. I adapted three key skills. That's picture books, reflective teaching, and thinking process. Picture book have my lesson connect words and images. Reflective teaching is an activity. I have my student design a portfolio, and they use the book creator as an online platform. So which means that in my lesson, both of the language ability and technology skills should be trained. Now let's look more details about the whole lesson. Here is the summary of the lesson 3, that's Bando. A foreigner was invited to a traditional Taiwanese banquet by his Taiwanese friend. He knew more cultural elements about Bando, such as food, plastic utensil, outdoor performances. So I want my student as a Taiwanese local to introduce like a Yukai, the role on our text. Let's get started by vocabulary teaching. I have them to classify word list from lesson 3, like a guest, ingredients, outdoor stage. I group them into 7, 4 people in a group, so they can have a discussion. Though there are subtle differences about the result, but it's okay. Some of them may not really familiar with the target words, but that's okay because they can go back to Chinese books and then they can find out the Chinese meaning. So in this activity, actually they can preview Chinese equivalent, and when they write down the keywords, they practice spelling one more time, which means that this activity provides both affiliation filter and reinforcement. To do more, I designed a bingo baker as an activity to have them design a bingo by themselves. Let's look more about this. So in this one, students in my class can design like this. They put keywords into the blanks, and they can generate or share the links to their friends. So that means that if they code plastic and 塑胶 in bees in their partners worksheets is okay to be crossed. So it means that both the Chinese and English equivalents can be matched together by listening and oral practices. Here comes out a video that's made by my teaching assistant. You can see them have fun in my class, and they group together to enjoy the whole atmosphere. And let's go to the grammar part. Grammar 1, they need to learn, realize that, explain that. This grammar part contain both teacher center and student center. like teacher center, I make the context sentence. I say, I hope that I could use sentence patterns better. And they have to switch the subjects by saying, Amy hoped that she could use sentence patterns better. And after 5 minutes oral practice, they should write down their own sentences, try and to describe a picture like this: Chinese, Bando, banquet. So this is the Chinese, this is the students' performance. Though they didn't make the sentence well, but at least they try to describe, know that, say that, and even say expect that. In the future teaching, I would have them to practice more on making complex sentences before they can adapt it into the project. And about the grammar too, is talking about the sense verb. Actually, they've already learned in their junior high school. So I designed an activity by quizzes. Let's look at this platform. Quizzes have teachers to design a task, and you can share the task by Google Classroom. And also you can see the report from the data. This is how my students do in my class. And you can see the report and then try to think about which part they didn't really understand, and then reteach one more time for the rest of the time. Right, so after the verb and after the words and sentence pattern, they can write down like this. They try to describe it in their online book. Look at this picture. They say, these dishes taste delicious. They know how to use sense verb and then put the keywords right in their projects. For the reading part is a review part, because based on word and sentence pattern ability, they are able to understand the reading part. So I have them discuss in class, share their previous experiences about attending traditional banquet. They should circle the keywords about what are the elements about Bando. Let's refer to the conceptual question. The keywords correlated with the discussed image, so we can discuss in the class. And after this fundamental teaching, they should use them into producing online book. We go to Book Creator. It's a platform. But before that, I have them prepare slogan, photos, video, and work from their Google Drive. After they search out this data, and I introduce them how to use, you can refer to my assignment from Google Classroom. So let's look more about the Book Creator, this platform. Every teacher can sign in by a free access. And after you get into this platform, you can have students produce their online book like this. Students are able to upload their pictures. They cut and practice from Chinese cooking classes. So provide both the Chinese and English description. And you see they are trying to use the sentence pattern, like in the kitchen classroom, I saw the food being served. And they also provide some recipe and try to introduce how to make these Chinese dishes. After this class, you can find out that actually students love this activity because one of them adapt this skill into other class. They try to use them into timeful presentation. They try to introduce how they set up a table, the procedure, and the skills. And then at the end, their technology level have already enhanced, because I didn't ask them to put video, but some of them record a video and then like a kind of a self-introduction. For teachers, you can also use the library parts. You can compile all of students' work and then try to edit them. At the end of the semester, you can have a big book from your students. It's like a 共编, but it's more vivid. And let's go back to our lessons one more time. That is how the teaching procedure about book creator. Actually, in this lesson plan, as a teacher, you need to provide student more time to prepare. So I would say that after you introduce the technology skills, you still have to provide enough time for students to collect their materials and also have them to understand how to upload their work, like to Google Classroom or to share the link. So this is a plan form made by a teacher sample, and this sample will provide students a model how to do it. So I would say that student performance, there are some highlights. Try to use a sentence pattern. They reflected learning from photos. And as a teacher, I would say that you will get more surprises. Like my students with a lower language level, they still try to use sentence pattern to describe a picture. I know the old-fashioned food, so I know that. They know how to use the sentence pattern. And then some of them write down the feedback to show that they understand banquet, traditional banquet, Bando is like a set up in a rural area, and they go with their grandparents. They show their language maybe by translate, but they know the key element about the Bando. The surprise is that they know more about the elements about a book, like a table of content, book cover, and maybe some references. If you still have some time, you should provide them a movie clip to enhance the atmosphere in classroom. I played 中破塞 in my 班会课时间, and then some of them already watched them before, and they know how to dance like Lin Mei show. My suggestion is that this is a technology and language class. So classroom management should be enhanced, and we should lower possible distractions. Like some of students, they will take their cell phone and they get lost in my class. And then in the future reflection, I will say that I should provide more connection between images and languages. Like when they use the picture, and what are the relations and connection between the images and language. And if possible, I will provide more scaffolding, like sentence pattern and templates. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. Hope someday I will see you in person. Bye-bye.